Welcome, everybody, to the R&R.app, a fan-based podcast focusing on Montana State athletics. We're two dudes named Ryan from the state of Washington talking about our dear Montana State. We hope you enjoy. All right. Welcome back, Bobcat fans. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the R&R Catcast. This is our instant reaction show, the R&R After Dark. Thorny decided to join us today, so we got both of us. We're going to break down the game that just happened against Morehead State, the beatdown that was 63-13, Montana State 2-0. Moving on to the next game against Oregon State, I should say. But yeah, we're going to talk about this game. We're going to give you our reactions, essentially, the good, the bad, the ugly, and then we're going to go down the Big Sky. So we'll start with the Big Sky first. But Thorny, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good. You said the R&R After Dark, and it's 4 p.m. This is the earliest we've ever recorded, I think, on anything. I think we recorded at like 6 o'clock for an earlier episode this year, but 4 o'clock. I mean, yeah, the games are still going on in the Big Sky Conference. Do you want to just roll right into it, get this thing moving?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, yes, the Catcast After Dark, usually we can recap games that have gone final by now, but nothing is final. I'm just going to start at the top of the ESPN list here. We got Washington, University of Washington, that is, 52-6, with 3:25 left in the fourth quarter over Portland State. Pretty much what you would expect against Portland State versus a quality Pac-12 team like UW. So, nothing to talk about there.
Right on. Next one down is Northern Colorado is close at Wyoming, 10-19. Both of them are, well, no, Wyoming's 1-1. Northern Colorado lost to Houston Baptist last week, so they're looking to rebound. It's in the fourth quarter, only 4 minutes left, so I doubt Northern Colorado springs the upset. They're looking like they're going to go 0-2.
No, but Northern Colorado did make a switch from Dylan McCaffrey, who went 3 of 8 with an interception for 35 yards, to Jacob Sermon, who went 12 of 25 for 91 yards. After that, I know a lot of people in the Big Sky Podcast Network are thinking Bears could be not so terrible if they got rid of the McCaffrey's quarterback there. Get rid of a little bit of that cronyism, nepotism there. Jacob Sermon.
Dude, he was like a 5-star recruit at one point in his life.
So not the only big 4-star, 5-star recruit to transfer into the Big Sky Conference and completely stink it up. So it happens. Sometimes guys get more stars than they deserve. Next down the list. Where did my thing go? Darn it, I clicked into the stats of the Northern Colorado game like a fool.
I got you.
Okay.
San Diego is beating Cal Poly. San Diego out of the Pioneer League, just like Morehead State, a non-scholarship team, is beating Cal Poly 17-14. It's 8:49 in the third quarter. Cal Poly has had back-to-back touchdowns, so we'll see what happens there, but not a good showing for Cal Poly. I know you were pretty down on Cal Poly there.
I watched them play football in that spring season. They were atrocious, one of the worst football teams. I mean, they quit. They quit partway through the spring season. They're just like, you know what? We're calling it. This is it. We're done for the year. This is terrible. Baldwin's got a lot of work to revamp that program. He's trying to unravel the previous way things were done there, and it's just not going well for him. Other games are just kicking off here. We got Northern Arizona just kicked off at Sam Houston State. We got UC Davis just kicked off against South Dakota State on the road. That's going to be a good one. Weber State just kicked off on the road against Utah State. Did you want to say something about any of those games?
I'm excited about watching the UC Davis South Dakota State game, or at least keeping track on it. The Weber State Utah State game is always a fun one to watch as well. There's that regional rivalry right there. Yeah. So
it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that one. And do you want to run down just the list of the games on tap?
Yeah, so then we got Idaho. Yeah, Idaho is at Indiana. So that starts at 5. Idaho State's playing San Diego State. I'm kind of interested in that one. I don't think Idaho State's going to win, but I kind of want to see if they can have a little bit of life. I'm interested in the Bengals, see what kind of the new coaching staff, what they'll bring in. Tyler Vanderwall, I wonder how he performs throughout the year. Eastern Washington at Oregon, the last one for tonight. Oh, no, that's not the last one. Yeah, that is the last one tonight. Oregon got butt whooped last week by Georgia. There it is. And so Gunnar Talkington taking his talents over to Eugene. Remember last time Eastern played Oregon? I think Vernon Adams was playing quarterback for Oregon, and it might have been Gage Gubrud, but there was
yes,
just offense against offense.
Yeah, you're right. And no offense, we didn't do this on purpose, just kind of worked out this way. But the way that ESPN groups this stuff, there's the final way down the bottom there. The Grizz did beat South Dakota 24-7.
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, forgot about that as the last one on the ESPN scorecard here. Good win for the Grizz, but as usual, Grizz suck, so who cares? They're gonna lose all their games. But honestly, good looking win for the Grizz against a decent Missouri Valley Football Conference team that had some high expectations, but
their
so far,
has some.
Yeah, they've scored 7 points in 2 games. South Dakota has, so not looking so hot.
No, thought the Grizzly offense has some problems. We'll just put it that way. But yeah, good on them. As Coach Hauk would say, Grizz continue to roll.
Got to win ugly sometimes. All right, speaking of ugly, let's roll right into our little topic here. The victory over Morehead State, 63-13. We do the good, the okay, and the bad. Probably be a short discussion on this one because it was kind of just a blah game that, but there were some interesting things to come out of it. So, Foley, I guess, where do you want to start? Do you want to take the first good? What do you got in your good column?
The weather, the fans, man. It looked like a Chamber of Commerce type of day over in Bozeman, and the fans, at least on the ESPN broadcast, you guys look so good in Bobcat Stadium. Bobcat Stadium looks amazing. I'm jealous. I really am. When we were there, Ryan, it was not like that. And to be a student over there right now must be unreal.
I remember, having 15,000 fans in the stadium when I was there was like a sellout. Like, it was usually like 11 or 12,000 was pretty typical attendance there in the mid 2000s. So yeah, enjoy it while you can. Cause it's not always like that. My first good, going back and forth on this one, I'll say overall the play calling was good. I was thinking about sliding it into the okay because I thought it was very questionable how little we handled the ball off, and that had to have been by design. Elijah Elliott did end up getting 4 carries, all in the second half. Jared White just had 1 carry, which of course he got injured on, which was not good. Don't know the status on that. And RJ Fitzgerald ended up with 2 carries, and then Taven Williams, according to our stats, has 2 carries. One of them is from 90 yards. Brian and I were both talking like, do you remember Taven Williams having a 90-yard run? Maybe we both missed it. I mean, it's possible. I was kind of zoning out a little bit there late in the fourth quarter. So if it happened, it happened. But overall, I thought the play calling was pretty interesting. They tried to get Tommy Mellott going through the passing game. I think they really were working on the passing game and a lot of end around stuff. So it's pretty interesting. I think they were just kind of working on stuff that they wanted to either get some film on or get some reps on. So overall, I'd say it's overall pretty good.
Another thing to put in the good category is Taco Dowler. Taco Dowler had his first punt return, 63-yard punt return. The second one he actually was able to return. Montana State set up a pretty impenetrable wall for him. That one looked pretty easy, and then Morehead State didn't really kick to him thereafter. But nice to see Taco get into the end zone. I'd be interested to see when's the last time Montana State housed a punt return.
It has to be Sean Johnson era, right?
Oh, man. Wow.
I mean, maybe someone got lucky there. Did Jacques Allen do one? He got close a couple times. I'm not sure he ever actually put one in the end zone. Willie P had the one called back last year against Wyoming. It should have been one last year. Speaking of that, I'm going to put that in the good column. I thought Willie Patterson. I thought the wide receivers looked really good. Willie Patterson made some nice moves. They did some nice throws to him to actually get him some ability, some chances and space to make some moves, and he took advantage of it. Of that, 3 catches for 51 yards, 2 touchdowns, along of 23. Ravi Alston had 5 catches for 96 yards, for 43, and then of course Trayton Pickering. Really good to see the tight ends get involved. He looked like a big target out there. They got him involved creatively. Yeah, he had 98 yards for 19.6 yards a catch with a long of 38. So really good to see the wide receiver group, tight end group to get involved, and Tommy Mellott slinging around a little bit.
I thought when we were passing to Pickering, that was our best looking passing plays. I thought Milat looked the most comfortable when he was going that route.
Yeah, because they were able to get Pickering wide open. But he was,
Yeah.
I thought Tommy Mellott just overall looked better in the pocket, a little bit better pocket presence, not just running immediately, just kind of surveying the field a little bit better. He still has a long ways to go there, but his patience looked better, and it showed with a 16-22 performance for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I think he had one of his better games as a pure passing quarterback, but still, I'd almost even still put that in the okay category. We're going to need more from him. But overall, it's an improvement. So I'm putting it in the good category.
Yeah, you got lucky on that one where he got blindsided hit and it just fluttered. Derek Snell caught it for a touchdown. You don't see that very often. We had like 28 points in the first quarter. So at that point, everything was going right for the Cats.
He also had one go through the hands of a defender on that long Ravi Alston, like first or second play from scrimmage that Ravi caught and took down. Like they went through and extended 2 hands of a defender that easily could have been picked off. In fact, arguably it should have been picked off. So, I mean, Mellott could have easily thrown 2 interceptions in this game. So he's still a work in progress, but improvement is what we wanted to see, and we got it.
Ooh, I thought another good thing. Casey Kotzman, I think, was the guy who was on our kickoffs. The freshman from Butte. He's booming those through the end of the end zone back there. That's nice to see.
Yeah, I was like, man, Glessner's killing it. But then the announcers were talking about Katzman from, wherever he said, sorry. But yeah, he was kicking it way deep. So I like having a 2 kicker system. I've always kind of liked it. One guy to boot kickoffs and do nothing but that, and then one guy to focus only on field goals.
All right.
I got one more.
There's a couple other things
in my good category.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sean,
I was going to name just a couple. Go.
You just told me to go ahead, and then you told me not to go ahead. Okay, you can go, sir.
All right. I'm just going to name a couple things. I thought Marquis Johnson showed some speed. It's good to see him. I like that. I like the end around that we hit in the first quarter, that inside end around. And namely, Chambers was the guy that was facilitating that. We got a couple of touchdowns off of that. Nolan Askelson had a pick. I was really stoked for him. And I think that's the only thing I really wanted to say as far as like just some quick hitters right there.
I mean, 2 more things in the good for me. Mostly it's going to be good, I think, on this one. Sean Chambers, I thought, was running the ball. He made better decisions, and they actually gave him some opportunities outside of just like the goal line. And you can see when he actually gets through the hole and is in space, he is pretty quick. He's athletic. He's got some speed. I'm trying to make a comparison. I think my friend Corey made a good one. Is Travis Johnson that's not playing wide receiver without the wide receiver reps. Because he looks like Travis Johnson throwing the football. I'm sorry, Sean Chambers, but that's going to be my bad category. We'll get to that. Throwing the ball is a whole different story. But running the ball, I thought he looked good. He's physical. He's fast. He's going to be a problem for some Big Sky defenses if we can continue to, if he can run that end-around package or even with R.J. Fitzgerald and he's doing a good job in the RPO game where he knows when to keep it, knows to get rid of it, it's going to be pretty hard to defend.
What do you think about him coming in the red zone?
I just like Tommy Mellott not getting hit. That's all it really boils down to.
Huh?
I don't love it necessarily, but I just, Tommy Mellott's going to take enough hits throughout the course of the game, so no need to have him smashing into the pile on a 1st and 4 from the 4-yard line. Might as well just be Tommy Chambers, Sean Chambers. I said Tom Chambers, the basketball player for the Phoenix Suns. It's too early for this.
Oh my gosh. I know, man. All right, let's move on to the OKs. I thought our defense in the second quarter was just okay. We left a lot open over the middle, and I didn't know if that was specifically like our linebackers not getting enough depth, but we didn't seem to have that problem after halftime, and we're pretty good at adjustments. What did you think about that?
I mean, I think we're nitpicking on the defense here. I was going to put them in my good category, but yeah, that you're starting to like, all right, well, here's an area that we were talking about that needs improvement, then it could certainly be in the okay category. Like I think the slants over the middle, I think there's 2 games in a row that teams have demonstrated that we can be beat doing that. McNeese State should have had a touchdown against us. It was that fluky play where we got called for roughing the passer, and then a McNeese State player got up and punched one of our players right in the head. But the actual play that happened on that was a slant over the middle, and I think it was Jeffrey Manning got beat, and it went right through the receiver's hands. He would have had nothing but daylight. That's kind of seen that for a couple games now, where slants over the middle. That if a quarterback can hit a guy in stride, it's a big problem for the Bobcats. So, but we're nitpicking here. I think overall the defense had a really solid day. The tackling was much, much better than it was last week.
Do you have an okay?
Let's see. Let me pull up my notes here. I mean, no, most of mine are either like bad or good. Yeah, I don't. Right. I'm pretty much done with my okays. I think that off the top of my head. This is always the hard part about the instant reaction shows, but that's all I got off the top of my head.
Sounds good. Let's move on to the bad.
Jared White getting hurt. That's pretty bad. Right off the first carry, one carry goes down. It looked bad. We'll see what it comes out with. I haven't read anything as of now, but that's bad. We're already hurting at the running back position, and whatever reason, the coaches really just don't want to give Elijah Elliott any carries. They finally did in the second half. Maybe they use that first half as some sort of proving ground. Like, hey, get in there, put your nose down, do some blocking for the quarterback, and maybe we'll give you some carries in the second half. I don't know. They just don't seem to want to give anyone him the ball. And then, so running back depth is now a concern. Jared White getting hurt is a concern, both in the bad.
Did you see the play? Did you see his knee or anything? I saw him clutching it.
I didn't really see what happened. I didn't see a slow motion of how he got hit or what caused the injury. So, no, I didn't really see it.
I'm going to be a little bit nitpicky on this one. Jeff Manning, his ability to pick the football, he has 3 missed interceptions. One caused us some points, but he can't catch the ball. It's really weird. Like, that hits him in the hands, and it's just almost a folly. You're like, oh my gosh, it's comical. So he needs to get on the jugs machine. That's Jeff Manning, if you're listening, come on, bro. Catch the ball.
That's the old joke, though. That's why you're playing defense, right? That's why most people play defense. Yeah, right. You can't catch.
It's terrible, man.
I mean, the first one was debatable.
He could have 3 interceptions.
The first one looked like he actually could have scooped it off the ground. They never showed a good conclusive replay, but it never hit the ground from the camera angles they showed. The second one was tipped, which slows down the trajectory of the ball quite a bit. Those are pretty easy. Those are tip drills. Catch the ball. But you know what? I still think he had a pretty solid day overall, so I won't give him too much of a hard time here. Chambers throwing the ball was not good.
Yeah.
That his interception on the goal line. Derek Snell came on like a drag route from the left side to the right side. Nobody followed him. He was wide open. Instead, Chambers throws it back to the left side into traffic to trying to find RJ Fitzgerald, who may have been open, but the point is there was still linebackers and defensive linemen all in the area, and it was tipped up and intercepted. Instead, you could have just floated it 20 yards into the air, and nobody would have been able to get down to it. It was so open. So just the decision on that was not ideal. And then his other interception, which was stared down the receiver the whole time. The receiver never really got open, and it was just a bad throw. The receiver didn't get open. I'm sorry. Taco didn't get open. The guy was smothering him, and then you threw it late. You threw it to the inside. It was just a poorly placed ball, badly timed ball. I mean, if Chambers if Malott gets hurt and Chambers is the quarterback for the rest of the year, it's going to drastically change the outlook of the season for us.
You're not lying. That was a terrible throw. All right. I don't have any others on the bad. This was, albeit kind of a boring game. Montana State racked up 675 yards of offense. That is crazy. I don't think I can remember the last time Montana State put up that type of number. Maybe that was Dakota Prukop era. That's a big number. Morehead State was completely outmatched. They looked like they gave up in the second half a little bit, especially during the Sean Chambers back-to-back drives where he just scampered. Nobody wanted to seem to touch that guy in the open field. He's a wrecking ball, like you said, but let's hope he doesn't have to pass. That's kind of his MO since spring is 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's kind of Sean Chambers in a nutshell right now. But
not throwing the ball touchdowns, though.
Yeah. Final thought for me on this game. is it was good to see us getting subs in as early as the second quarter. A lot of dudes got a lot of playing time, and that is just awesome to see. Montana State took care of business on a nice afternoon in front of a packed crowd, and now we're going to take our talents over to Oregon State in Portland next weekend, where Ryan and I are going to go.
Woo.
I'm so stoked for that.
Me too.
We'll be there. But yeah, we'll recap more of this game on Monday. Thorny, do you have any final thoughts?
I do, but honestly, I think you wrapped it up nicely, so I'll just save any thoughts I have until Monday when we do our full game recap. It's a big win. That's what you want to do. You want to see a team dominate the way that they did. So what else is there to say, man? You want to get out of here?
Yep.
All right, well, I'm just going to end this one. Go Cats.
Go Cats.